Welcome to Informatica Cloud B2B Gateway On-Demand course. In this module, we will discuss Informatica Cloud B2B Gateway and Informatica MFT integration. In this module, you will be able to exchange EDI files with your partner using Informatica MFT application and Informatica Cloud B2B Gateway. An organization used to send EDI files with their partner using the traditional method, for example, value-added network. However, changing the format manually according to each customer requirement was difficult and time-consuming. Data transfer using this method was expensive too. To overcome these drawbacks, the organization shifted to Informatica Cloud B2B Gateway and installed Informatica MFT application. The combination of these two applications provided seamless and secure exchange of EDI files with their partners at a lower cost. Using Informatica Cloud B2B Gateway, they transformed the EDI files to other formats using inbound and outbound setup, whereas Informatica MFT setup helped them to send and receive encrypted files, which could be read only by them and their partners. Informatica Cloud B2B Gateway and Informatica MFT application ensured swift, cost-efficient, and secure exchange of EDI files of the organization with their partners. In this demonstration, the instructor will transfer the files from the user data directory of a web user on MFT server to another machine using FTP. Create a project to trigger an outbound flow for a partner in Informatica Cloud B2B Gateway and send event status in email notification. In this demo, we will demonstrate the integration between Informatica Cloud B2B Gateway and MFT, and we'll create an end-to-end project to implement a demo use case. We will transfer the files from the user data directory of a web user on MFT server to another machine using FTP. After the successful file transfer, it will trigger a task in Informatica Cloud B2B Gateway, which executes the outbound flow for a partner in Informatica Cloud B2B Gateway. An email notification will be sent after successful execution of all the tasks. As we discussed in the previous module, the inbound or outbound flows can use a custom mapping in the Informatica Cloud org. We can seamlessly integrate the Informatica Cloud services, Informatica Cloud B2B Gateway, and Informatica MFT. Let us start with the demo. Log in to the Informatica MFT application. First, we will add an HTTPS server in MFT. Go to the Resources tab in the toolbar. Select the resource type as HTTPS server. To create a new HTTPS server, click the Add HTTPS Server button. On the Basic tab, enter the name as Partner HTTPS Server. Enter the host as b2bgateway.informaticacloud.com. Click the Connection tab. Enter the port value as 443. Enter your Informatica Cloud B2B Gateway credentials in the username and password field. To test the HTTPS server configuration, click the Test button. The response HTTP 1.1.200 appears, which means that the test was successful. Click Close. To save the HTTPS server, click Save. Now we will configure the SMTP server in MFT. This SMTP server will be used to send an email notification based on the configuration. Select SMTP servers from the list of available resource types. To add an SMTP server, click the Add SMTP Server button. Enter the name as Infa MFT SMTP server. We will configure this SMTP server for the Google account. However, for other email domains, the respective values will change accordingly. In the host field, enter the value as smtp.gmail.com. Go to Connection tab. Enter the port value as 465. Enter your user credentials. From the Connection Type drop-down, select Implicit SSL. Before you test the SMTP server, you must provide the relevant access and permissions for the SMTP connection on your email domain. click the Test button. Provide the value to email address cloudinstructordemo@gmail.com and click Send. And the resource test was successful. Click Save and Close. Now we will configure the FTP server in MFT. Select FTP server from the list of available resource types. To add an FTP server, click the Add FTP Server button. Enter the name as Infa MFT FTP Server. Enter the host IP address, which in our case is 192.168.3.29. Enter the port value as 21. Enter the credentials for your FTP server. Go to the Directory Listing tab. Select the list parser as Windows from the dropdown. To test the FTP server resource, click Test. And the resource test was successful. Click Close. Click Save. Now we will create a project to send the files over FTP for archival purposes. Click the Workflows tab and select the Projects option from the drop-down menu. To create a new project, click the Create a Project button. Enter the name as Send Files over FTP. Click Save. The project designer appears. From the Components library, drill down to FTP, and then drag and drop the FTP underneath the main module. On the Basic tab for FTP Server, select Infa MFT FTP Server from the drop-down. From the project outline, right-click on FTP and select Put File. On the Basic tab, select a source file on your system to be sent over FTP. Then select a destination directory on your FTP server and click Select. From the Add drop-down, select the option to add a file set. Browse to the base directory from where the files will be moved to the destination directory. Right-click the file set and select Add a Wildcard filter. From the Add drop-down, select the option to include files. In the wildcard pattern field, enter star.edi. Click Save. This setup will move the EDI files from the base directory to the destination directory. Click Validate to check for any errors in the configuration. Now create a project in MFT to call an inbound or an outbound flow for a B2B partner. Click the Workflows tab and select the Projects option from the drop-down. To create a new project, click the Create a Project button. Enter the project name as Trigger Cloud B2B Gateway and click Save. Keep the module name as Main. From the Component Library section, drill down to Web and drag and drop HTTPS under the main module. Enter the label as B2B GW HTTPS and select Partner HTTPS Server from the HTTPS Server dropdown. Click the Add button and select the option to add a post raw data. In the label field, enter the value as post raw. Enter the URI for the Informatica Cloud B2B Gateway as shown on the screen. In the Input File option, provide the path to the text file containing the JSON payload to be sent to the Informatica Cloud B2B Gateway to run an inbound or an outbound flow for a partner. We have already placed a file b2bgateway.txt in the user data directory of MFT. This text file contains the JSON payload as shown on the screen. We have configured the direction as outbound for the partner Customer Superstore in Informatica Cloud B2B Gateway. In the Content Type field, enter the value as Application JSON. To validate and save the project, click the Validate button. A message stating the successful save and completion with no errors appears. Now let's create an end-to-end project in MFT, which will call the projects and execute them in a specified sequence to achieve our demo use case. Click the Workflows tab and select the Projects option from the drop-down menu. To create a new project, click the Create a Project button. Enter the project name as Demo Use Case Project and click Save. keep the module name as main. From the component library section, drill down to job control and drag and drop call project under the main module. Enter the value for label as send files over FTP. For the project field, click the ellipsis button. Select the project Send Files over FTP. Using this component, the Send Files over FTP project will be called and executed. Again, from the component library section, drill down to job control and drag and drop call project under the main module after the Send Files over FTP component. Enter the value for label as Trigger Cloud B2B Gateway. For the project field, click the ellipsis button. Select the project Trigger Cloud B2B Gateway. Using this component, the Trigger Cloud B2B Gateway project will be called and executed. From the component library section, drill down to Miscellaneous and drag and drop timestamp under the main module after the Trigger Cloud B2B Gateway component. The task will store the timestamp value for its execution in the variable system.currentTimestamp. This value will remain same for all the components until the value is updated by another timestamp task. Now from the component library section, drill down to Email and drag and drop Send Email under the main module after the timestamp component. From the SMTP server dropdown, select Info MFT SMTP server. For the From field, click the Show Variables button. From the appeared expression wizard, select the variable system.project.name and click Done. In the To field, enter the email address of the email recipient. From the subject field, click the Show Variables button. From the appeared expression wizard, enter the value as MFT project $system.project.name executed successfully and click Done. From the message field, click the Show Variables button. In the field value, enter the following text with the system.project.name and system.currentTimestamp variables. Hi, MFT project $system.project.name has been executed successfully at $system.currentTimestamp IST. Thanks. Informatica Cloud B2B Gateway Demo. Click Done. To save the changes and validate the complete configuration, click the Validate button. To execute the project, click the Execute button. And the project executed successfully. After all the tasks in the project are executed successfully, we get an email notification with the details. This concludes the demo. This module showed you how you can use Informatica Cloud Services, Informatica Cloud B2B Gateway, and Informatica MFT application for seamless and secure exchange of EDI files with your partners.